Alright everybody, I'm back. I'm gonna go ahead and upload this video too. So I went ahead and already done a video that was titled, does having a chip on your shoulder, is that a bad thing? So what I want to talk about is I want to talk about, or give you, how should I say this, I want to just kind of just touch on my experience in high school compared to my experiences in college, to see how they were different. Okay, and I'm gonna try to use three areas regarding like the social aspect of high school compared to college, when it came out to athletics, and then what's one more? It's one more thing that I want to cover with that too. Social aspect, athletics. It doesn't matter. I'm just go ahead and just get right to it. So, high school. If you were to rate my popularity in high school from 1 to 10, I would say that it probably was like maybe a 6 or a 6.5 in social circles. See, the thing with me in high school was that I was more of like a low-key, easygoing guy that just kind of kept to myself, but a lot of people knew me. You see what I'm saying? There was quite a few students who were underclassmen who may have been like a grade or two under me that kind of looked up to me because they would see the things that I was involved with, as far as like being involved in sports and all that. So that was one thing about high school, is that I didn't really too much care about being popular, because I was so goal oriented about what life was going to be like after high school, that I didn't put popularity on the priority list when it came down to just being in high school. So I would say that I was rated maybe at a 6 on a popularity scale. Now, some of the things that I did enjoy while I was in high school was that I played football. I got a varsity letter my junior year. I played freshman and JV ball as well. Senior year didn't really go as expected, and I kind of touched on that when it came down to a video that I've done about a year ago when it says my past failures. But I definitely enjoyed playing football, being part of the team. I also ran track in high school. I had got a couple varsity letters from track. And the funny thing is that track wasn't even my main sport, and I got more letters in track than I did in football. So it's kind of odd as far as how that all worked out. My main thing was that I was just trying to be the best person that I could be. Try to be one of the best athletes that came out of my school. It was Cimarron Memorial at the time. I started off at Western 9th grade year, and then during my sophomore year I transferred to Cimarron. So that kind of touched on the athletics and the social part when it came down to high school. Now, as far as just overall confidence, y'all know in high school that everybody's going through the growing pains of being a teenager. Hold on, I gotta get my music going, but get back right, man. I had my music going there for a minute, so let me get that beat back. Everybody went through their growing pains in high school. You could have been the best looking guy, you could have been the most popular girl, but that doesn't mean that your life was all great. That doesn't mean that you didn't have insecurities that you were dealing with. So one of the things that I was dealing with, that I was getting over in high school, was the fear of rejection. Everybody, all the guys wanted was going after those dimes in high school. Y'all know how it was, going after those dimes. But the question was, did you have the confidence to step to that dime? Did you have the confidence to step to and approach that girl that you've been crushing on? And that was something that I was still wrestling with in high school, to where I was still kind of afraid of rejection. Now, I would admit that I did work up the courage to ask girls to the prom, to ask them out, everybody that I had a crush on. But you're going to see the difference when it came down to my college years. Because it was like a totally different Omar in that perspective. So that kind of touched on my high school experience when it came to the social aspect of things, when it came down to the athletic aspect of things, and then when it came out to the confidence. Now, college was totally different because, and then another thing too, as far as academics in high school, I actually excelled academically. I would say that me being a student athlete, I excelled more in academics than I did athletics. So you can see that I already had college as my goal. I already had envisioned going to college, going to a D1 college at that. Now let's translate over to college now. We talking about college now. Socially in college, since there's way more people in college, you're never going to be as popular as you was in high school, because you're like a small fish in a big pond in college. But I would say that I probably had more of an impact around people that was in my circle. I had more of an influence and more of an impact. So in a way, I would say that I was more popular. You see what I'm saying? But I had more of a impact, because people just like being around me. You know, being a cool guy, being a confident guy, just being a guy who, you know, was comfortable within himself, man. See, you didn't have those cliques in college. Nobody cared about what kind of clique you were in. Whether you was a jock, whether you was a geek, a theater kid, part of the band, whatever. Nobody cared about what clique you were in. Everybody was focused on getting through the class and having a good time. That was the main objective there. So I had more of a social influence within the people that was in my circle. Another thing that helped me out in that area was that I was a good public speaker. I took a public speaking class, I want to say my sophomore year at CSN. I started off at CSN, and then after I got my degree there, I transferred to UNLV. And so what that did was that it helped me be a good public speaker, and that was one of the ways that I got noticed. Athletically, gotta start that music back. Gotta start it back. Now, athletically, I didn't play sports in college. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I pretty much done that my whole life, all the way up and through high school. So I wanted to get a break from sports. I didn't have to worry about going to practice. I didn't have to worry about dealing with these bonehead coaches. You know, I didn't have to worry about being involved in something that was cutting out a lot of my free time. So I actually enjoyed the fact that I didn't play sports in college. What I really wanted to do was just get a part-time job, have some money in my pocket. That was what I wanted to do. Go to college full-time, you know, work part-time, have some money in my pocket, have some money where I'm able to, you know, be able to pay for my tuition, buy my books for the semester. That was what I was on. So I'm kind of glad I didn't play sports. And as a matter of fact, I went 4 years without playing sports. Wasn't even thinking about playing sports. And then I think within my last 2 or 3 semesters, I just started getting to the habit of working out again, because I kind of miss being active. I miss running sprints. I miss throwing a football around. I miss being around, being part of a team. So I found myself just slowly but surely getting to the swing of things, sports-wise, on my own. Just going out to the park, just having a nice little jog, doing some sprints, that kind of thing. Now, confidence-wise, I was a lot more confident in college than I was in high school. That was the big difference right there. And the reason why was that I was no longer fearing rejection in college. Look, it was so many girls around that college campus. You can get a phone number on accident in college, man. It's almost like you had your pick of the litter on which girl you wanted to talk to. So that eliminated the fear. When I approach a girl, even if she disses me, it didn't shake my confidence. So I was a lot more confident, and I think that's what people seen with me in college. Whether it be people in my classroom, whether it be those who was in my core group of friends that was part of my crew, they seen that. I would go up to girls, give girls compliments, tell them I liked them. I had no problem doing that in college. I had more of a free flowing attitude in college. So that covers the confidence part. Now, going to the academics, I want to say my first 2 years in college, I was at CSN, and then compared to my last 3 years at UNLV. But academics wise, it was a lot more challenging in college than it was in high school. I think high school prepared me with, some of the classes and material that I took in high school prepared me for college. But college was a totally different animal, especially when you got to the 300 and 400 level classes for all my college folks out there. So my GPA wasn't as nearly as high as it was back in high school, back at community college. My GPA dropped. But the thing with me was that I wasn't too concerned about my GPA. As long as you got like a 2.75 and in some cases a 2.0, you was able to keep your financial aid and keep your scholarship going. But having a high GPA wasn't a priority because it was all about that college experience for me. I wanted to take care of business in the classroom, but I also wanted to enjoy myself and have a good time. You can do both. Don't get it twisted. You can do both. But I was more focused on having a good time in college. Like, you know how when people be taking their exams, right? I'll just give you an example. People taking their exams, they got their Scantron, their little pencil, and everybody's just sweating bullets, penciling in their answers during the exam, working all feverishly. Man, I'll be in a college classroom, man. I'll be staring up at the wall eating gummy bears during exams, dude. Like, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do as best as I can at exam, but I'm going to sit here and I'm going to chill, too. I'm not going to be stressed out like these other kids are. That's just me. That's how I was in college. After I get out of class, okay, I'm going to go hang out at the library and kick it. Whether it be people in my crew, whether it was some girls that I knew, I was going to go hang out and kick it at the library. Go kick it at the student union. Oh, me and my boy, we going to go across the street and get a slice of pizza or something. So that was me in college. And throughout college, I would work full time during the summer when I was out of school to save up money to buy books and stuff. I remember I was part of an internship program for like a year, 13 months or so while I was in school. I remember I worked the night shift job during the holiday season. And then I started working for Station Casinos during my last, 6-7 weeks of the semester of my last semester in school before I graduated. So I was about trying to get that money too. So as y'all can see, that was the difference between high school and college for me. Y'all let me know what was high school life and what was college life like for you. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.